We're gonna be live right now. I think you're just going live. Okay, we're live. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be covering over Corviknight VMAX. So, like I said, I am going to be doing some of my deck profiles and gameplay live. This is going to be one of them. I typically reserve them for decks that either people have requested. This has been one of the most requested vids that I've had since the start of Battle Styles. Now, I did cover this deck before, so hopefully everyone's doing good today. I see that we got a bunch of people in the chat, so shout out Alexander, shout out AJ, shout out Nissy, shout out Fernando, shout out Benjamin, shout out Yoshi, shout out Alejandro, and shout out Ethan. How's everyone doing today? I hope everyone's having a great day. I'm just gonna write something in the comments. Okay, pin that message. Just pinning. Make sure that if you haven't already, like this video. It does help boost everything. How's it going, Peter? Hope everyone's having a great one. So, Corviknight, what's going on with Corviknight? Well, Corviknight's it's an okay deck. I don't want to be out here and be saying that Corviknight's the best deck in format. Corviknight is more of a modified Lucario deck. And I think it might have some different matchup spreads than what something like a Lucario or a Turbo Zacian might offer. So that's really what we're going to try to discover in this kind of video. So, shout out to John. Hey, how's it going, Mike? So yeah, it's one of those things where I hope that everyone just has a good time with this video. Not necessarily, again, I don't think Corviknight is the most competitive Pokemon, but I have been wrong before. I called Single Strike better than Rapid Strike at the very beginning, and that was certainly wrong. Maybe I'll discover something else. Am I looking for people to play against? We can. This video is going to probably be around an hour because I do have my Team Challenge Top 64 not too long after that. So I think this deck is it's worth covering in the sense that we're going to discover it all together. I have covered this deck in the past. My findings have not been anything spectacular, but we have had a few weeks for Battle Styles to settle in, and a single Corviknight here and there can kind of pop up. However, this is one of those it's one of those decks that a lot of people want to have covered. I don't think enough people are really talking about it. And just because a deck is not the most competitive or is not seeing the most success doesn't mean that we shouldn't cover it. I think from time to time we need a reminder of why these decks aren't successful, has their success level changed, and it's always in an effort to find out what's going on in the game. So why don't we peep at the list? How's it going, Solar? This deck might be the best deck. If you like Corviknight, give this video a like, give it a thumbs up, and we're gonna switch over here to on OBS. This is what we got going on for the Corviknight deck list. So I'll let it soak in for people to just take a chance. If you have any questions, feel free to ask any questions about this deck. This is based off the decks that I've seen having success, the lists that are having success in general at the Limitless events and the Chill events and all that good stuff. So I think my original list played like a 3-3 Bronzong. I don't think 3-3 Bronzong was the correct call. I think 2-2 is fine enough because this deck can focus enough. I do think 2-2 Corviknight VMAX is good because this deck functions a lot better as a metal box deck. So having the kind of Lucario Zacian package, I think that those are really good. I've seen some lists play 1-0-2, 0-2 Metal Saucers. I don't know why you'd ever want to have that. Metal energies are just going to go away. Crushing Hammer is huge. So we play 2-2 just because you're never going to get out of a full 3-3. You're never going to get out of a full 4-4. There's not enough bench space for a deck like this, and you choose which Pokemon you want to attack with throughout the game. So it's not necessarily straight pure Corviknight. It's more or less we're playing Corviknight Metal Box, which out of all my testing has proven to see the most success. Anything else is just not as successful. And it's only successful, let me sell you on Corviknight, and I'll tell you why I personally don't like Corviknight. And I don't want to be hey guys, Zach covering a deck that he doesn't like. I'll cover anything that the viewers really want. So Corviknight VMAX has HP. So comparing this to Zacian, Zacian's one of the most popular Pokemon that we have in our current format. So it gains an extra 100 HP over Zacian. Both metal types, but in order for it to gain 100 HP, this Pokemon needs to evolve. So that tells me that that's probably a fair number. So I'm going to go with so if it's evolving and it's getting 100 HP, so in order to evolve it gains 100 HP, it gains an extra 20 damage from its attack, because they have the same exact attack, regardless of different names. It's an extra 10 damage between Brave Blade and G-Max Hurricane. Same energy across this Pokemon, so you give yourself free retreat. For all this extra space, I think that you could add extra switch and probably be a little bit better than just playing Corviknight at all, which makes Lucario Zacian a better deck in my opinion. Now, this deck does have some strengths to it, like, it's one of those things where this deck can be a little bit clunky at times. The Lustrous Body ability is okay, but that's really where you're at. Corviknight, the biggest thing that it has going for it is that you could Cheryl, and that could really just, like, bop some things like Rapid Strike Urshifu. But what does that else, like, I also think that you could just bop Rapid Strike Urshifu with Zamazenta V, like, because of Dauntless Shield, because Dauntless Shield basically just stops pure VMAX decks. Decks like Eternatus that do not play Phoebe, decks like Rapid Strike Urshifu, decks like things that just are VMAX decks. This deck, you could just sit out there and be like, okay, I win the game. You could basically declare victory for the most part. That's not to say that you should just be like, hey, by the way, you have no way to beat me. But very few decks have answers to things like Zamazenta V, Decidueye. These wall-type decks just have ways to block your opponent's Pokemon. So my personal gut feeling is that this is just a worse Lucario Zacian. The only cool thing that it has going for it is Cheryl, but you're replacing Cheryl for Mallow and Lana, which tells me that this deck just has less options. The only thing that's cool is that you got the Bronzong package, and I did everything I could to make this deck survive as much as possible. Power Plant to stop our opponent's whatevers. We got Cheryl to stop their damage output. We got Mew to stop them from bench sniping. We've got a Reset Stamp up in there. We've got some Marnies up in there. But basically, this deck I think is just going to function with, like, it's a little bit more technical based, so that's why I really want to explore it. My gut feeling going into it is that it's a worse Lucario. I really want to explore it. We'll see exactly how it goes. For anyone who's wondering how this deck strategy works, if it's your first time watching a Corviknight video, or you maybe want a refresher, how does this deck work? Well, you got Pokemon that allow you to set up. You play Crobat V over Dedenne-GX, because there is Power Plant in this deck that only blocks GX Pokemon. This is a Pokemon V, so it's not going to get blocked. You have Eldegoss to get back things such as Cheryl and other draw supporters like Marnie and Professors Research. Then you got the Bronzor Bronzong line. I see too many people playing the wrong Bronzor. This is the best one from Team Up. And it's because if you go second, this Pokemon can evolve during your first turn. So moving things around and getting that instant advantage from the Evolutionary Advantage ability is going to be huge. What are we evolving into? We're evolving into a Bronzong. So as often as you like during your turn, you may move a Metal Energy from one of your Pokemon to another one of your Pokemon. This allows you to have mobility when it comes down to Metal Saucer, and allows you to have a bunch of different attackers that can kind of take advantage of it. This deck features Corviknight V and VMAX, so this adds a couple attacks here where you could do 30 damage, the defending Pokemon can't retreat, 190, very similar to Zacian, but it can evolve into the Corviknight VMAX going 240. Your opponent's abilities can't really affect it, and it's just kind of vibing. You got Lucario Melmetal-GX in case you need to reduce damage or just remove all of your opponent's energies in a pinch. Maybe a Pikachu and Zekrom GX with Tag Bolt GX about to go off. 6 energies or something like that. Maybe a Mewtwo Mew Fire deck with a bunch of fire energies attached to it. Could be huge. We do have Zacian V, one of the best Pokemon in the entire game. You could use its Intrepid Sword ability to accelerate energy into play, draw extra cards, and Brave Blade is very similar to G-Max Hurricane. We also play Zamazenta V. Zamazenta V is basically here for its Dauntless Shield ability, which is just going to prevent all damage done by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon VMAX. So this just stops a lot of decks in their tracks, stops Eternatus if they do not have anything like a Phoebe. It can stop Rapid Strike Urshifu. A lot of Pokemon can't get through Zamazenta V, and if you just set up 2 Zamazenta Vs, you can pretty much declare yourself the winner in a lot of games. Your opponent really won't have much that they could do. We got Mew. Mew's really for Rapid Strike matchups, so your opponent can't isolate your Bronzongs very quickly. It just blocks bench damage overall. So we have ways to set up our Pokemon with Pokemon Communication, Quick Ball. We have ways to accelerate energy like Metal Saucer. You can remove your opponent, like just kind of ruin their hand with Reset Stamp. You can disrupt them with Power Plant. You can disrupt them with Marnie. You got Switch, just because a lot of your Pokemon do have free retreats, like the Corviknight VMAX, or you can move Pokemon's energies around, retreat them, get them back with Metal Saucer, that kind of thing. So 3 Switch and 2 Air Balloon is quite fine. We got Bosss Orders to bring up whatever we want. We got Cheryl if we need to heal from exclusively our Corviknight. It does only heal from evolved Pokemon. Yes, VMAX Pokemon count as evolved Pokemon. And then we got enough energies blocking weakness and enough energies to make it happen. So this is what we got going on here. Looking through the chat, am I going to be doing a stream or video for Decigoons? I did cover Decidueye fairly recently in the past like 2-3 weeks. I don't think Decigoons is as well positioned, but it is something that I could cover in the future. We'll have to see. Do I like Corviknight better after rotation? Honestly, I haven't thought about it too much. I think that straight Zacian is probably just better. And as we get more and more cards, one thing that we see is we look at these Japanese translations for sets like it is Chilling Rain, stuff that we're going to be getting after that. The card pool keeps on getting better. So something tells me that the power creep is going to completely blind out Corviknight VMAX the same way that Copperajah VMAX and Scizor VMAX and a lot of other Metal VMAX Pokemon are just not viable. Not all Pokemon are built the same, so it's cool if you like Corviknight VMAX. It's not terrible, it can win games, but my gut feeling is that there's just better concepts than this. So we're gonna find that in the video. I try not to be negative, try to be positive wherever possible. So let's jump into some games and see exactly what's up. Hey, I won the flip. Let's go. Would we like to go first? I think this is actually a deck that we want to go first with so we can get an Intrepid Sword off. Okay, kind of an awkward hand. You can see that we don't really have a draw supporter. So with all the extra tech cards that we have, we do take away from consistency from this deck. That being said, I am going to start off with Zacian V. Yo, what's poppin'? How's it going? Let's go Bronzor. Actually, no, we don't want to put any Pokemon down on our bench. I thought it was like my turn starting off. So we are starting off with a little bit of a weak hand. We are playing against a tough matchup. So I am going to go Coding Metal Energy. We also don't really have a great damage output when it comes to this deck. So we're going to attach there. I am going to go Bronzor. And I am going to go with Intrepid Sword. I don't see any reason not to go for Intrepid Sword. So I wish we had something that we could just like knock out a Reshizard with. And if they just go like Giratina or Fan of Waves and take away our energy, we're probably in a really rough spot. If we attack into them and they go for like an Outrage, we're in a pretty rough spot. So you can see how this matchup can just become a little bit awkward if you play against Fire type decks. Okay, so Victini, yo, Nick Robinson, word, how's it going? See, I honestly just don't know how to deal with this. Like, our opponent has, like, a good start in a way where they can, like, do stuff. I don't think they have, like, an amazing start. Maybe if I can try to chase down this Victini, that might be cool. I'll have to see exactly how that goes. And I hope everyone's having a wonderful Sunday or whatever day it is for you in the entire world. I'm playing in my team challenge today. And that's going to see if I advance from the top 64 to the top 32. It's going to be a tough one, but we'll see exactly how it goes. But I always want to make sure that I can get a piece of content out per day. That's my end goal. And I mean, this upcoming week is going to be a great week when it comes to content. It's going to be an amazing week when it comes to content. So stay tuned for that. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I can't recommend it enough. I honestly put my heart and soul into the content, and I really hope that everyone enjoys it. Yo, Biggest Squidus. Yo, how we doing? We're doing okay. We are, we're just trying out this Corviknight deck. And you can see Corviknight's not going to come out every single game. So that's going to be a little bit interesting. Like, my goal here is to probably focus on the 2-3 prize card attackers in play, or focus on 3-2 prize card attackers. There's no point of them using the Dene or anything else like that. Maybe they're worried about power plant in general. I just don't know what they're, like, Yeah, we're probably going to focus on the 2 prize card Pokemon after looking at this. So that should be a free knockout in general somewhere. Interesting. I would have definitely gone for the Victini a little bit more, but that's okay. Let's go Pokemon Communication, see if there's anything that we want to put down. I'm usually reserving the Pokemon Communications to Bronzong or to Corviknight VMAX, because that's what I could search out. Let's see what we can grab here. And anytime you bank an energy, you can just move it around with Bronzong, and they're not going to target the Bronzong. So I'm going to attach here, and I'm just going to pitch this hand away. There's no reason to do anything else. We just want to build more things into play. Although, the Pokemon that we did get in play here are not the greatest. We don't want to go like Lucario, because that is like 3 prize cards for our opponents. Now, we might have to go with the Zacian attacking into something else next turn. I think we're just going to get knocked out in response here, or at least we should be, as long as they get out of Victini VMAX. Yeah, so we're just going to go ahead here and go Brave Blade. Thanks for all your content. I really like seeing a Canadian rock like you from Quebec, and I really like the Corviknight VMAX. Fun to heal all damage. Hey, Carl, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. Thank you. If they, I'm upset that they closed all the interprovincial borders between Ontario and all the other places, because we don't really know how to handle COVID here, apparently. Was really looking forward to getting to go to Quebec and visiting some family and stuff like that. Neil, sorry about this, but me and my son are huge fans. Oh, thank you so much. And we make a Zave, you could give him a shout out. His name is Daniel. Thanks for all the video. We love them. Hey, Daniel, thank you so much for watching all the content. I really appreciate it. It means the world. Like some people think that they don't necessarily matter. Every single viewer matters here. Like right now we have 37 viewers. Not my biggest stream of all time, but I do appreciate every single person who's watching my content. So thank you so much. Yeah, this is really awkward because like we just don't have the outs to this. I honestly don't know how to deal with this. Like their Mewtwo's blocked. I mean, let's try something else. We'll see how it goes. So, I mean, this is where I get into like how the deck becomes a little bit awkward. We are gonna grab a Crobat so we can try to draw into some more cards. There's a Corviknight. There's this. There's that. So we're looking basically for a Metal Saucer at this point. We did find a switch. And I can use Metal Transfer. So, like, I mean, it's not ridiculous. There's nothing else crazy going on here, but... We're going to go Assault Tackle. Put some damage right into that Victini VMAX. So kind of an awkward like situation, especially when you're playing against a Fire-type deck. At least like the Victini VMAX cannot attack into the Zamazenta because of Dauntless Shields. They could just go like GX attack with their Rechazard. That would be very scary because we have nothing that hits for a lot of damage. Their Mewtwo Mew can do 230 damage by copying Flare Strike. So it seems like it's a simple retreat. It's really like these are the things where it's just like I'm worried about Corviknight because there's a lot of fire decks in format. Like Centiskorch is falling out of the metagame a little bit, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad and that it's not played. Tempozard is on the rise, or Cracephalon or Placephalon decks. I think that Victini Mewtwo's on the rise. I think Victini in general is on the rise. There's lots of stuff going on there. What? They could have definitely done Flare Strike. I don't understand where that would have... It's a little bit of an awkward thing there, but that's okay. We don't want to attach the energy here, just because. So we are going to go Marnie like this. We are currently trying to find some kind of energy. Like a coating metal energy or something like that. Nothing else that we could do here, so we're just going to go Assault Tackle. So, really, you can see, like, just the damage output from a deck like this is not enough. That's going to draw them 3 prize cards. Hey, Zach, what's your thoughts on the new meta looking like post-rotation? I haven't really thought about it. With the rotation, Corviknight will shine like crazy, I think. I don't think so. Man, everyone's asking about post-rotation. I really don't see... I don't see it at all. I don't see it at all. This has 1 retreat cost. So we're going to go ahead and send this up so we have more opportunities. Let's go, like... We know we're not going to use Bosss. We got to go with, like, Zacian. I just think that Corviknight is going to get... It's literally a worse version of, like, Turbo Zacian. Okay, so we're going to go Eldegoss, make sure that we can get everything that we want. We are going to go for, like, a research because we need a lot of cards in order to pull this off. I am basically looking for a coating metal energy. If they have a Bosss, they literally just win the game. We are close to winning this game. So this is going to at least prevent us... Oh, it doesn't matter. We can't win this game at all. So this is the exact issue that I have with the deck. We literally just cannot win the game. We're like 1 turn short of winning this game, but our opponent just has it. We don't have any damage reduction in play. Here I am thinking that like I need to prevent the weakness from the Victini VMAX so that they don't hit me for a bunch of damage. They just hit me for 220. So we just lose the game. I've been struggling to make Corvi work, just found the other VMAX. Exactly. Some decks are just going to be a little bit better than the rest, and that's one thing that you gotta kind of understand. Like the same way that like some people are born rich, like honestly like a Kardashian baby, and then there's people who are born into more of like a normal life, and there's people who are born into poverty. Pokemon cards are the exact same thing, right? Like if you look at the Pikachu that does 10 damage for a single energy attachment, or if you look at like a Pikachu and Zekrom GX, Pikachu Zekrom GX is doing a little bit more damage, right? Like they're both Pikachus at the end of the day. One's a little bit better than others. So we'll try that one out again. Would you like to go first? Yeah, I think this is definitely a go first deck. Victim of hype, maybe? Yeah, I think so a little bit. As you can see, like, the deck just doesn't have, like, a lot. Like, there's so many texts going through it. Like, I couldn't even get the whole Cheryl package set up last game because they just brought up my Corviknight VMAX and knocked it out before it ever happened. And that was a free 3 prize cards for my opponent. So we're playing against another poor matchup. So, like, not even is it just not as strong as other decks, it's just not as well positioned. Is Victini Mewtwo going to be better in Chilling Reign? I think Victini Mewtwo is just very good right now. Like, if you ask me, it's just very good right now. We could literally just lose this game this turn. So we'll see. So far they don't really have much going on. But like we don't have a lot to really like take out what our opponent could be even be doing this turn. Togekiss is better than Corviknight ATM. I don't disagree with that. I feel like Luke Metal is just better than like Corviknight is a worse Luke Metal. We don't have a way to really utilize this energy, but I can discard it, so I think that's worthwhile for other Metal Saucers. I should have looked through my deck there. That's a mistake on my behalf. Maybe what makes Lucario better is the fact that they are knocking out a 3 Prizer and then 2 Zacians, not 2 core. Yeah, exactly. This deck doesn't have a good flow of Pokemon that you can send up. I got your Urshifu Secret Single Strike, and I'm saving to go get a Victini deck. I'd recommend getting the Victini deck sooner than later. So we're gonna go Marnie here. Hopefully, hopefully getting something. Okay, at this point, there's nothing else that I really want to get besides a Bronzor. Checking through, nothing crazy. I'm just going to attach there just so we don't get absolutely, like, bopped. Although, if they do get Welder, we could be in a really bad spot. We're just going to pass here. They have to go through a Lucario and Zacian combo. They won't be KOing easy support mons. Exactly. This deck just has way too much open. And it doesn't have enough defense, even though it has a bunch of, like, random attacks. Because here, they're just going to free retreat, hit us for 230, because we can't get the Lucario strategy off. So this deck is really just... really just the product of like where do things stand in the metagame, and it's a bunch of Pokemon that are okay put together in a deck tied together with dental floss and toothpicks. Why should I play a deck is almost always again weakness. When I change deck, it's a totally other kind of deck, but still weakness. Yeah, I honestly don't know. What do you think about the Zarude Rillaboom deck? I think it's a little bit on the weaker side, unfortunately. I picked up 4/4 Corviknight and played it 2 times, feel bad. Like, this is another case, like, what am I supposed to do with a hand like this, right? Like, I have nothing that can, go against a Reshizard, because they just knocked me out. So I'm going to give our opponent the well played, and I'm going to concede. Hopefully play against something that's not weakness, so I can at least show you what this deck could do. I think the deck's just, like, a little too weak for my liking, though. So for everyone, I'm not trying to disappoint you, I'm just trying to be real. These are the reasons why I don't really feature these decks. It's just, they're not as strong as other decks. I try to bring the most competitive value, and I try to cover each deck like at least once, because I'm still trying to figure out the metagame myself. But this is basically worse Lucario. That's my 100% call on it. We'll play out the next games for a couple, like maybe 30 minutes or so, but it's really just worse Lucario. Okay, they're gonna choose who goes first. I mean, we can also go second if they decide to go first. It's really sad how weakness kills a bunch of decks. Yeah, I really don't like weakness in our current game. I think weakness should be like plus 30, maybe for a VMAX plus 50. I'm cool with that. I think that sounds like a really awesome way to take care of things. Right now, weakness is just absolutely disgusting. Towards Rapid Strike Urshifu build with Octillery. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that one. It seems like okay, but we'll have to see exactly how it goes. So I'm just waiting on them to choose an active. I guess our opponent DC'd or something like that. Okay. Cool, we won a game, everyone! Yeah, let's go! So we're gonna try to find our opponent. Let's see exactly what's going on. Real corvids, crows, ravens, magpies can remember human faces, are super smart and recognize their own reflection, use tools of ravens, and learn words similar to a parrot. That's crazy. I don't know who PTCG Kimmy is, but their name seems important. Anytime I hear the PTCG in a username, I'm like, oh. Yeah, exactly. No, I agree with that. Hey, we're playing against ADP. This is a matchup that I also think that is going to be very difficult for us. Really wish Octave was once per instance like Houndoom rather than the hard once per turn. Yeah. Is there any other deck combination you could think pair well with Single Strike Urshifu? I honestly don't know. You're going to be very disappointed with the Mawile. How do you feel about Welder rotating out in a few months? I think it's fine. Welder's had a really good run. Okay, well, we're going to attach an energy here, and we're going to go for Marnie. So really not a great turn. So this deck, I've worked hard to make this deck as consistent as possible. It just seems like it struggles. But you want to know what? We're like okay-ish here. I'm just going to go ahead and clutch this. The damage doesn't, like the biggest thing that I have is that the damage doesn't really stack up because you do 30 damage there and then it doesn't work with the 240. So you're really like two-shotting VMAXs and they play Crushing Hammers. So like our hopes and dreams of anything happening are just pretty slim at this point. Although they are down to one card in their hand, so maybe we'll be okay. We'll get down the other Corviknight just cuz. I think that seems worthwhile. This would be a really good matchup to use Lucario. So I'm going to attach the energy there, and I'm going to see what we can get here. I really do not want to do this. Like, I could stop a Pokemon from retreating. I don't know what their last card is in their hand. They did not play a supporter the entire game. Do I just assume that they don't have Bosss, so they're hitting into us? I think it's much better for me just to go clutch again and hope that they don't have it. Welder decks have kind of had a love-hate relationship in the Pokemon TCG, and it's basically just because, like, Welder's a semi-inconsistent card. It's literally like Fire-type Hop, right? Like, you're drawing 3 cards, which can make decks, like, do very well because you're attaching energies or not. So, it's really where things kind of get hurt. How do you get your decks? Anytime. So just go to PTCGO Just so everyone knows, like, I am affiliated with them, so if you do use the codes, it does really help me out as a content creator. Yeah, they're just kind of popping off here. I really feel like the Corviknight deck, like, it could do okay in some cases, especially if it gets set up. The deck is just so inconsistent. It just hurts to play sometimes. Because now I can't even play Cheryl and Marnie in the same turn. If Cheryl was like an item card, it'd be so good, but it's just not there. Yeah, there's no point. Like, I literally can't do anything with this hand. So I'm not going to move the energy to the Corviknight. I might as well move it to the other actually, you want to know what? I'm just going to move it back to the Bronzong. And then we're going to go ahead here and pass. Because there's really nothing else that we want to do. We're going to wait until our opponent knocks us out for the whole reset stamp thing. Yeah, the big charm's probably not going to matter because we could be doing 240 damage anyways, but they should just basically be knocking out our Corviknight since they don't need to play a Bosss Orders this turn. Okay, we're going to see if we could reset stamp and hurt our opponent enough to make anything happen here. Might as well go coding metal energy there because we already have everything. So let's go reset stamp, research, and hopefully we can draw 3 prize cards here. I don't feel like we're in a great spot after this because they are fully powered up and they could just draw a boss and win the game. So, I mean, this is really the dream of what we're looking for the deck, where you're able to go 240, 240, 240, but reasonably it's the same exact attack that Zacian has plus 10. So that's really where the huge disparity happens. I might as well just go Air Balloon onto something like the Bronzong. As much as I really do not like that, because it does cost 3 energies, it's more or less if they just bring it up the stall. Let's go G-Max. G-Max Hurricane, so there's going to be... Oh no, they have 310. I literally can't do math today. I was like, oh yeah, most Pokemon like Mewtwo Mew have 270 in my brain. Yeah, they're literally... We cannot win this game, and they just have to boss anyways. So they would just boss us up anyways. So this really... Like, the deck has no way to increase the damage outputs. So we'll play one more game, peeps. With this deck, give it a try, but right now, Corviknight's an utter failure. So... Anyone who's looking to build Corviknight, remember, if you're playing Pokemon for fun because Corviknight's your favorite Pokemon, that sounds totally cool. Anything else is really just like trying to reinvent the wheel to make this deck work, but it's not going to be able to really work that well. I'm looking in the thing, like Matt's like, oh, you should play it with Melmetal-GX, and I really appreciate all the like creativity that comes with that. To accelerate energy, then you have to draw energy and use turns. I mean, it's okay. But reasonably, that's still just a target for ADP. It's just like, a lot of these decks are just going to target it. E-Turn's going to target those Pokemon. Victini's going to target a lot of these Pokemon. It's not, well, like, it's not like it's a grass type, like, or something that's, like, not weak to fire or weak to something else. Like, it's weak to just, like, random things. And here, if I was just starting with a Zamazenta instead of a Corviknight I'd be in a much better position. Yeah, it's literally just a worse version of Lucario, everyone. So, not that Lucametal's not the most well-positioned deck. It's fine. Definitely within our current top 10 for sure. But, it's just a tough one otherwise. You should play Corviknight Lucametal. There is Corviknight Lucametal in here. Yo, what's going on? How's it going, everyone? Okay, I gotta watch out for, like, Fan of Waves and random things like that. Maybe I should have attached the other one and just went for research. But I'm gonna go with Marnie. I know our opponent has 3 cards in their hand, but maybe they have something good. Can't tell. I mean, that was not a bad turn. This has me worried about Metagross VMAX. I don't know how Metagross VMAX is gonna do, to be honest. I wish that was a Metal Energy, but there's only so much you could hope for. Remember to check through your prize cards when you're going through things. Cool. Corviknight showcase today? Yep. It's all about the Corviknight here today. Tower of Water's interesting. They might just be sacrificing that Pokemon. This might be our best opportunity to win here today. They're drawing that extra card. It's a really interesting Urshifu looking list. Okay, cool. We are looking for another energy in our discard pile. So I'm going to evolve into a Corviknight VMAX. Why don't you play Pokédoll? I think it will be good. There's not enough room in the deck. Metagross seems super mid. Damage is inconsistent. Victini still bops it. Yeah, that seems very accurate. We are going to try to draw a few more cards. So I am going to go Crobat first here. I might as well just put the Air Balloon onto this Pokemon. And we're going to go ahead here and pitch his hand away. My favorite deck to play? Yep, and we missed it again. So really one of those huge misses. Let's build up the energy here. Let's put this down because that could be more important. I'm going to put an Air Balloon on this Pokemon. I'm going to attach to... this Pokemon's probably the safest to attach to. And I'm just going to go ahead here, retreat, and go for Intrepid Sword. My favorite deck to play around with probably right now is Etern. I really like Eternatus. Hey, Pastor, how's it going? I hope Duraludon VMAX makes Metal great again. Maybe. I do like Zora. I say collect all V and VMAX cards, especially they're not popular because you never know when meta. Yeah, I literally have a 4 set of every single card that I've been trading for. I don't have an unlocked account like Pablo or Trainer Chip or anything like that. I do have an account, like my account that I've worked very hard on collecting and building. So I have a 4 of every single V, VMAX, GX, most EX Pokemon. Really, and this is where the Zamazenta is going to come in strong. So who's excited for the meta breakdown tomorrow? I'm super excited to drop that. My favorite expanded deck is Hitmonchan. Oh, they have Phoebe. Awesome. You know you love to see it, right? Okay, so we know that we're not really going to get to do too much. I'm just going to go ahead here and retreat, send that up, put Mew into play, and let's swing for 220 damage. Or 230 damage. I think Single Strike Urshifu is very good, underrepresented, still needs a lot of stuff to work with it. The Eevee and Gengar VMAX released in Japan on the 28th, so they might just reveal it next month. Yeah, for sure. What's a site that has good prices on cards? My Twitter is, Meta breakdown tomorrow. Yep. So every single Monday, I drop the meta breakdown about exactly where the top 10 decks are in the current meta, why they're on the rise, why they're on the decline, what's going on with each deck. And then I post my own personal handcrafted decks based off the things that I see seeing success, and just basically offered 10 of the best decks available for people to play around with. So that's how we kickstart our Mondays here at the channel. And then I got some tournament live streams going on this week. We got the Yellhorn events. I sponsored 200 plus code cards, plus a gold quick ball. So there's a lot of great stuff going on here at the Zaclasage PTCG. So I mean, if you haven't already subscribed, totally recommend that you subscribe. Totally valid. They're just going to concede. Perfect. Have I tried Expanded ADP? I have a little bit. Last time I really played Expanded was around Collinsville last year. I was planning on going to either Puerto Rico or Collinsville, but I came second on Australia the week before and was extremely tired. Snowstorms all in Ontario, so I decided to take the week off, and then I haven't really touched Expanded since. I played a little bit here and there. I just don't think the format's as great as people think it is. I think it's actually just a more degenerate version of Standard. So we're just going to go over here to the deck manager, see exactly where the deck looks like. So this is the deck list that we're going with. I mean, there's really nothing wrong with it. It's just, again, it's a worse version of Lucario after playtesting it. I think we've only won a couple games. Very poor matchup against Fire-type decks. Yeah, for sure. I'm super excited for it. But yeah, this is basically Lucario, but worse. And that's the unfortunate news. Not every single Pokemon is going to be built different. Corviknight might have some something going for it post-rotation. Honestly, we're going to have to figure that out. So, it's really one of those things where Corviknight, it really is what it is. Overhyped going into the sets, really has not seen a lot of success. Doesn't look like it's going to see some success. I mean, I've covered this deck twice, and both times it just hasn't felt great. It really just feels like worse Lucario, worse Turbozation. A 3-3 Bronzong really wouldn't have done anything in those games. It's really about the damage output that you're putting out there. It's not defensive enough. So in order to make room for Corviknight and Bronzong and stuff out of like a Turbozation or a Lucario deck, you lose all the offensive, like attacking capabilities. You lose all the defensive things like Metal Saucer and all that stuff. So I mean, it's not bad. You could take this deck and see some success, but it's really forced, and it's just not as good as what you could be playing. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Maybe I'm off. Maybe I'm just completely off today, and it's just not working for me today. And sometimes decks don't work for me. I could have been playing ADP and drew garbage hands all day. I dropped from the GG Tour event because I could not draw a card to save my life, and I hand constructed that deck. One of the top players in the game right now. It happens to everyone. But let me know what you think in the comments below. If there's any changes you want to make to the list, I do get back to everyone's comments. If you haven't already subscribed, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't given this video a like, it does help signal boost it to other people, but hopefully you enjoyed it. I mean, I have put a lot of effort into crafting this list. It's just not where we want it to be. But like I said, there's a lot of great stuff happening on the channel this upcoming week. Meta breakdown, tournament live streams, deck profiles. I'm going to be casting the Yellhorn event, the entire event on Wednesday. Check that out. We got the Yellhorn podcast. Lots of great stuff in there. Is there any pretty good decks with no GX Pokemon and only V Pokemon or regular Pokemon? I would check out like Mad Party or some more budget decks. I think as soon as you start putting barriers for yourself and being like, does this deck not contain GX Pokemon? Does this deck not contain V Pokemon? They really start becoming a little bit pale. Maybe Decidueye, straight Decidueye would be a great one to look into. I did cover that on the channel. With that being said, I do gotta get ready for my team challenge, everyone. I am gonna try to advance from the top 64 to the top 32, so wish me the best of luck. I know we're up against a really tough team. The matchup spread does not look great for us, but we're gonna try our best because I'm always gonna try to fight to those victories, and you never know what's gonna happen. That being said, I gotta go, so I'll catch up with everyone later. Have yourself a wonderful day, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I hope to see you real soon heading into next week with the meta breakdown. Have a great one. Peace out.